Hi, my name is Gudrun from GE Designs. Welcome to my Happy Friday show. Hi everybody, I'm excited to be here with you today. I thank you for being here, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube. What you can do to kind of play along, make sure you tell your name in the comments and say hi to everybody. We're here from all over. And of course, like our page, subscribe. It's important today because we have some stuff coming up that you are not going to want to miss. It's steamy here in Minnesota. Hot and steamy continues. I think it's 9 days in a row over 90 degrees in June. Almost a record. I don't know. I don't mind it. It's nice. Feels good, but it's hot. So not many clothes being worn around here lately. So it's, of course, tradition every Friday to start it off with a fresh cocktail. Say hi to Mr. HP. He's got a cocktail.
Hi, everybody.
This one is pretty, very pretty. We continue our peach theme, and this is the very, well, it's my spin on a very classic tiki cocktail called Missionary's Downfall. Instead of, well, there's so many different recipes for this drink. Mine, of course, I took down the sugar a little bit. But it's got fresh peaches and mint that you muddle with just a little bit of honey and actually just a sprinkle of salt. And then there's just rum, a little bit of peach schnapps. You can actually leave it out if you don't have it. Not a big deal. And you shake it up, strain it into a glass with ice, and then
drink it.
You got to freshen it up with some sparkling water to get that sugariness out of it, and it's what makes it really fresh. And then drink it up. Cheers, everybody! Ooh, this is like peach. There's pineapple juice in there too, so it's like a peach pineapple, kind of one of my favorite flavors. It's actually my favorite kombucha flavor.
It's delicious.
If anybody drinks kombucha. Anyways, it's been a crazy busy week at the warehouse. We have fabric coming in non-stop. So all the holdups, all of the fabric that was supposed to come in April, May, and June, it's all coming. It's all coming. It's a beautiful thing. I don't mind it at all. So I've got lots to show you today. And if you watched last week's or this week's Tipsy Tuesday, we did a new tutorial video for you that's now available up on YouTube about doing mitered borders. I know that's something, well, for me at least, I didn't even attempt to do those for a really long time because I just thought they were so hard and tedious, and so I didn't do them. But it's really easy. So I had a tutorial that you can find there, and we had a Halloween kit for Halloween quilt. It sold up pretty fast. Can we put up a photo of the Haunted Eve kit? So this is fabric. The fabric is called Spooky Nights. We had the same designer had a line last year, and I just loved it, and I loved that border print. So I wanted to show how easy it is to miter the corners on a border print, because then you just get this really cool look of multiple borders or squares kind of framing the quilt. We will be getting more kits. We're just waiting on some more panels. Everything else is cut and ready to go. So if you missed out, what you can do is go to the listing on the website, click on it, and then there's a box there that says sign up for notifications. And there you can just put in your email, and as soon as we add inventory, you will get an email notification when there's more. So we have that fabric, though, in bundles, which I actually forgot to bring and show you. I'll show you next show on Tuesday. But Spooky Nights is a bundle with 10 prints also, if you wanted just the fabric. And then once we're ready with all the rest of the kits, we will also maybe have some more of that border fabric to just buy in yardage. So check that out. We also had a really exciting shipment come in. Our Christmas in Europe threads are here. And so I know that the kits are not here, and they won't be for a while because fabric is delayed, of course, everywhere. But these are here. They're beautiful. And so we started shipping these out. If you didn't tell us that you wanted to wait on it, you're going to be getting yours, which is great because they're great colors. So I can show you the colors in real life. It's always more fun. So let's check out the overhead. So Christmas in Europe, Mystery Block of the Month. I even took them out of the plastic so you can see better. So these are pretty much the colors in the quilt. Really, really pretty. So we have a really nice red that blends well. A nice gold for all the accents. So then we have a great gray. We'll be using some gray in the quilt. A taupe, an awesome kind of a olivey green, and then the chocolate brown. So as always, when I'm picking thread, there will be just a little bit of top stitching in this quilt. So when I'm picking thread for that, and then also like for binding stuff that I want to blend in, I want to always go just a little bit duller and possibly a little bit darker than the actual fabrics if you want it to blend in. So I chose all of these with that in mind. And so that is a six piece large spool, and there's almost 1,500 yards of thread on here. So, but these are colors not necessarily for the Christmas quilt. These are great classic colors, and whenever you buy thread in a box set like this, you always get a great deal. So I always use the opportunity. If you like the colors, I pick it up because it's always a great deal on that thread. So that is in stock, and so now we had it up for pre-order, so all the pre-orders are going out unless you told us to wait until the fabric came. So to give you a little update on the actual fabric, when that will be coming, of course, it's kind of like everything else. Even though I ordered it all and was all supposed to get to us in May, obviously, didn't happen. But we're in constant contact with the manufacturer, so we are getting updates all along. So I'm thinking that we'll probably have the fabric late this month or early July. And so I had always talked about us starting in July with this block of the month. We're going to push it into August, but we will start selling the digital part in June, July. So you will hear more about this project not too far away. So we will just be shipping the kits then early to mid-July, estimated right now. So we are, of course, anxious to get everything, but this is just the way things are, and so we just got to roll with the punches. And so luckily there was no hard start date, so it's all good. We can move things around. All right, so biggest news, of course, is something I hinted at last Tuesday on the Tipsy Tuesday show. This is what I showed you there. I just showed you a save the date for our next full day quilt-along. And it's going to be June 26th. So 2 weeks from tomorrow, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And if you were a part of our quarantine quilt-alongs, Elvira or Hope or Harmony, you kind of know what the deal is. And you know that this is going to be some fun. Going to have a lot of fun during all sewing together from all over the world. During that same day, I'll go live a few times throughout the day and give you tips and kind of teach you how to go through the quilts, give you all kinds of hints, maybe have some special guests. We have lots of giveaways, some prizes. We always have food and cocktail recipes. Mr. HP puts together an awesome playlist.
Oh, yeah.
And kind of the reasoning behind this whole kind of date and why I wanted to do this right now is that, you know, we did those 3 quilt-alongs last year, full day quilt-along, and now as we entered into the quarantine, and now we're kind of seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. Maybe it's a little bit different once we get out of this tunnel. The world is a little different, but we're seeing the light. We're able to hug our friends and spend time together, so I thought it would be perfect to do one of those. And of course, I designed a brand new quilt just for this. And we're calling this Hey June Quilt-along. Hey June, hey world, we're back. We're almost there. And so June is a really cool quilt. She's actually hanging behind me, but let me show you the photo so you can see the whole thing. Well, this is the close-up. Can we see the big picture? You only have these two?
That's all you put in there.
Okay, well, I did put the other ones in there. They're called June full size and June lap size. No, not the layout. All right. Well, we're going to have to see if we can find those for you. Because, so the one in the corner, whoops, there, I actually made this full size. And it is, I used a bundle. So I actually used Dance in Paris. I know it's not here yet. I had gotten fabric for it, so I used Dance in Paris. The one on the wall, we used, it's a lap size. We used the Beguiled Light and Dark with a background. So what you will need for this, you can have two options. So either you can have them, if you have stuff laying around, like 10-inch squares and 2.5-inch strips, you can have a mixture of those and a background. You need a background too. And then the other option is just a half yards, different half yards, and a background. So those are the two options. Now I'm going to really dive into the fabric selection on Tuesday for our Tipsy Tuesday episode. So I was just hoping we could show the whole quilt.
Got it.
You got it? Oh, sweet. I knew it was coming. I'll just have a little sip because it's getting hot in here. Oh.
Telephone.
Some people don't know that I have a show at 3 p.m. every day. So, you got them? Almost there?
Take a second.
All right, so who's excited? Who's going to sew along with us? Now, if you can't be with us live, the videos are always available later. And what we're going to do regarding the pattern is that the pattern will be available Friday morning early, the day before. Let's show the full size. The day before the sew along. So this is the full size. So what do you think? I really love it. So what I use for this is, yeah, the Dance in Paris. So you can do a couple of different things. You want it to, for your half yards or your squares and strips, you want to group them into two groups. It could either be lights and darks or just something with a little bit of a contrast. So what I did with this one, I put all my navies and some of the blues in my one pile and then all my greens and light blues in the other. So that was kind of how I distinguished. Of course, some of the colors were in both piles, so that's why you have a little bit more of a scrappiness going on. And then I had that an ivory metallic gold background that comes with this bundle, which is a spotted, really nice color for my background. So you want that also to stand out. You want your background to stand out from all of the other fabrics. And so, like I said, I'll talk more about this during our Tipsy Tuesday next week. But so then we did a completely different version. Well, different coloration. So I did lights and darks. So for the fabrics, I did both the Beguiled Dark, so all black with multicolor, and then all white with multicolor. And then my background was that green. I just picked up one of the colors in all the fabrics, and you could have like your background be purple, it could be any color. Your background could be dark, you could do anything. So you can either, like I said, there's two options, 10-inch strips and 10-inch squares and 2.5-inch strips combination, or just half yards and you'll do all your cutting yourself. Little bit better use of the fabric with the half yards, which, you know, our bundles will work perfectly for this project. So next week I'll be talking more about the fabric selection, coloration, and actually give you lots of ideas, because you guys know that that was the hardest thing for me to figure out which fabrics am I going to use for these samples. And actually we have 2 more in the works and possibly a third. Lovely. Can we use a fat quarter bundle? Yes, you can. It just won't, with the half width of fat quarters, you just won't be able to use your strips as well, so you just have to maybe cut an extra strip from the fat quarter. Totally doable and not a big deal. So you can do that. Okay, so I wanted to explain where you can get all the fabric requirement information. So if you have subscribed to our newsletter, we have started to send out a newsletter on Friday. Always goes out after the show. So you will get a newsletter right after the show with a link to the fabric, all the info sheets. So this is a 5-page PDF. It will have the photo of both quilts here. It will also have kind of the broadcast schedule if you're familiar with a previous show. So this has, can we just go to the overhead maybe to show them this? So we'll have, you know, the times that we go live, which is all in Central Time. And so then it will be live on Facebook and YouTube. And we have, of course, a hashtag if you post. And then the whole event is free, and with the purchase of the brand new pattern called June. Now we're going to have June available to you for free for 24 hours. Not right now, but it will only be free for 24 hours. So that's why it's important to subscribe to our newsletter, so you get that link. Free. Yes.
Wow.
And so more information, watch next Tuesday. Then you will get the fabric requirements. So here, the top box here is if you're using half yard cuts. This is how many half yards you need, and you need your background fabric. If you want to use a mixture of 10-inch squares and 2.5-inch strips, let's say you have a jelly roll and a layer cake, here's what you need from those. You'll also need background fabric, and you also need binding. We can actually get a scrappy binding from our half yards if you use half yards. So, and then it has the backing fabric, which is the same for both. As far as tools, Stripology XL or the squared is going to be helpful, and of course the ruler stickers are going to be awesome. Then on the last page I did include a coloring sheet if you want to play with your coloring, so that's there. But however, there are going to be multiple different layout options for this quilt. This is I think this is just layout 1 here. So the big quilt, the full size that I did, is layout 1, and then this one is layout 2. It's just a slightly different, and then we will have multiple different layouts, which I will show you more. Well, actually, let's show you this is my first sketch of multiple different layouts that you can do. So the one on the right is layout 2. The one in the upper left corner is layout 1. Based on the quilts that I've already made. And then if you want some fun, you can play with some of the other ones. And there are numerous other ones that you could probably come up with by yourself. But it's going to be a really fun quilt to do and play with the layouts. Now, as far as if you wanted to use, if you have stash builder bundles, half yard bundles at home and wanted to try and use some of those. So the lap size uses 8 half yards. The full size uses 12. So a lot of our bundles are either 8 or 12 bundles, so they would work perfectly. There is a crib size version, which is 4 half yards. You will have some left over, but you will need the 4 just so you have a balance of the two contrasting. And then there's a king size version, which will take 16 half yards, plus some background, of course. So I'm excited. Are you? Are you going to join in? Yay! Yay! Okay, I'm seeing it. This is going to be, yeah, there's going to be so many options, and there are going to be so many different looking, beautiful, gorgeous quilts. I cannot wait to see it. So, like I said, background can be anything. Can be light, can be dark, can be black, white, or any color. You just want it to stand out from all the other fabrics. So that's what's going to be really fun. And then your 2 groupings of half yards, you want a little bit of a contrast. Now let me show you. We have 2 more quilts in the works. Kara's working on one actually right now, and I stole some of her blocks before I left. And so this is from our bundle called Forage. So these have not been trimmed. Of course, we are going to trim our blocks, but we used the forage, so we had the contrast between the pinks and then the blues. And then this background is a brand new woven fabric by Jen Kingwell and Moda. So I love it. It has such a soft feel, very cool texture, and we're using the silver for this. And then it also comes in charcoal. So we have this in 1 yards. So this is really cool. All right, do we have any questions on this before we move on to more fabric? More fabric. Will the videos continue to be available? Yes, just like all of our other sew-alongs and quilt-alongs, they will be available. We'll create its own playlist on our YouTube channel, so it'll be easy to find and just go back and go through them. And they'll be broadcast live, so as soon as we're off the air, the videos are there. So even between our lives, you could go back and watch right away. So that's really a great bonus. How much background for a lap? It's less than 2 yards. So 2 yards, buying 2 yards is good. Yeah, 1 3/4. For a lap, 3 yards for a full. So it's great. We sell the yardage for a 3 yards. We sell them in 3 yards, or you can buy 3 1 yards. So it's great. Works out great. How do we get the fabric requirements? Again, if you sign up for a newsletter, you will get a newsletter. You will get an email after the show, like around 4:30, and there'll be a link there to that sheet. Also, there's a link in the description. Will be a blog post, of course. You can go to the blog post and click there and find this sheet. So the date is June 26th, 2 weeks from tomorrow. 2 weeks from tomorrow. Yes, and you know it's going to be fun, and I know you probably have things to do and other things to finish, but you know what? You can make a crib size, or you can make a lap size. Is actually not that hard. It's actually not a hard quilt, even though it might look like it, but you know me and my stuff. It's not hard at all. I made a whole full size in a day, but that's maybe just me. Where are the bundles available? Our fabric bundles are on our website, so we have multiple different fabric bundles. The ones that I use for the one behind me is called Beguiled Dark, and there's 2 bundles. There's a Beguiled Dark and a Beguiled Light. So it's 8 pieces in each, which would be enough for like a king, but we just used it for a lap, and so I want to make something else from it too. Have you done Hey June in the Abandoned 2 fabric? Well, let me tell you, I have one ironed and ready to be cut out. So what I'm going to play with the Abandoned fabric, and I'm going to talk more about this on Tuesday, of course, is that I'm going to have 2 single fabrics and then the Abandoned fabrics. So I'll have, like, my darks will be the Abandoned, my lights will be a single fabric, and then my background will be another single fabric. So I'll talk more about that on Tuesday and show you. See, I'm on the mailing list. Is the newsletter different? No, that's the mailing list. So, and you can always, if you're not sure, if you have been getting our regular emails every week, you're good. You will get it. And if you don't get an email, hop on over to the blog and find it there. But while you're there, make sure you sign up for the newsletter. What are the dimensions of the lap? I'll show you give you the dimensions of all of them. A crib is 40 by 52. A lap is 52 by 76. Full is 76 by 100. And then a king is 100 by 100. And you can always add borders. If you wanted a queen, you can widen the border on the full. If you wanted a twin, you can just add a row to the lap and make the borders a little bit bigger. So. Is this the same pattern you showed on Tuesday with the Halloween bundle? Oh, no, no, no. This is very different. Tuesday's was just a very simple quilt with using the panels. So do you want to put that up again? That Halloween quilt? The Haunted Eve? No, this is very different. It just might look, I don't know why that would even look similar. So, all right. Somebody says it has Abandoned bundle and haven't used it yet. Well, there's your chance. That would be gorgeous. So, speaking of Abandoned, do we have any more questions? Can we move on? I'm too excited to show you all this fabric. How many colors? That is all up to you. You could do 2 colors. Like I did black and white. And then just a background is the 3rd color. Or really the truly only color. So you can choose however many colors you want. You just want to group them in 2. So I'll talk way more about colors and color selection for the quilts on Tuesday. So if you're unsure, just hang tight. Hang tight. I'll talk more about that. So yeah, even though for lap size we're talking about is it 8 different half yards, you could do just 2 fabrics. So it's 8 different half yards, so that's 4 yards. You could do 2 yards and 2 yards if you just wanted to use 2 fabrics plus a background. So is the Halloween pattern available? No, the pattern is only comes with a kit because it's just it uses that panel, and so it only comes with a kit. I'm going to move my drink out of the way because I don't want it to go on these fabrics. So, and I don't want it to spill. What background color would you use if you used Abandon? I'll show you. So I'm about to show you Abandon 2, which Abandon 1 is similar if you're talking about 1. But we have all of Tim Holtz provisions that work really well with the Abandon. They just blend perfectly. But let me show you. We just got this in. So Abandon 2, if you pre-ordered Abandon 2, your orders will be starting to go out. Probably they're working on it right now or Monday morning. So this is, like I said, similar to the first line, but just different coloration, different prints. So of course, Tim Holtz, if you don't know him, he started in scrapbooking. So his kind of MO is always very distressed, cool textures. I love it. I kind of the collage feature of it too. And I love this colorway of this one. Just gorgeous burgundies and pinks, and then we have a little bit of purple in this one. So they're just so unique. Every single print is unique. I have collected his stuff for a really long time. So the Abandon 2 is 10 pieces. And if you have Abandoned 1, they will mix perfectly together. If you remember with Abandoned 1, I made the Venus quilt out of it. It's still probably one of my most popular versions of my Venus. I love this one. Has just little specks of color. We have kind of the greens, teals in this one, yellows into the teals, and I love this. I've talked about this, how you could cut parts of it and get mostly blue, and here you get mostly gold. So really one print doubles as a couple. This is kind of the taupe print, the neutral one. We have some orange in this one. Really cool texture. Orange with a little bit of green. And then another larger print with that reddish orange and into the darks. And one more of the neutrals. A larger scale print here. So this is Abandon 2. Like I said, 10-piece bundle, and then I just pulled with me all of his provisions. So we carry his provisions in 1 yards, and so all of these work. So that's his kind of distressed ink blot type of prints, and they just work perfectly with all of these colors, as you can see, mixed really well. So any of those would work great as backgrounds for his stuff. Can you hand me, see that stack of fabric over there? There's a kind of a purplish dark one, purplish gray, and the light one. But I wanted to say before I end with this, we have 3 of the prints available in 3 yards and 1 yards. Thank you. This, the purple one, the teal with the yellow green, and then the burgundy pinks. So these are available both in 3 yards and in 1 yards. So, and then what I was going to show you, this is not by Tim Holtz, but this print is, we have in both 3 yards and 1 yards. This is color, is it Color Theory? Look at this. This, let me take this out of the way. This works perfectly. This is what I'm actually going to play with using for my background for Abandoned 2. Because it's got the textures. Color Theory, it's by Carrie Blumston. And I just love how it looks with this. Has a little bit of a purplish hue, but still very neutral. And then she has this in the light too. So that would work also really well because it's lighter than all of the prints, so it could really work well as a light background, but it's still got a really cool texture. So this is Abandoned 2, and this is Color Theory if you were looking for these. 1 yards and 3 yards we have. Okay, let's move these out of the way. And these, you know, his prints, Tim Holtz prints, if you wanted to make like a masculine quilt, you know, some guys don't want flowers on their quilt. You don't mind it though.
I love flowers.
I know. So, so that's a great way to have a very masculine version. All right, so another line that just came in that was a pre-order, and you know, some of you have been waiting for this. Another Halloween line. It's called Midnight Haunt, and it's really cool. So we have very classic black, gray, and orange. So very classic Halloween colors in here. I love the diamonds in the background here. We'll start with the blacks. And we got bats, a little bit smaller on the black background. We have a black tone on tone with spider webs and skulls. And then we have black with a little bit of cream print on it, that same print with the cream. We have some grays, jack-o'-lanterns, the main print also in the gray, and some bats. And then we go into the purple, or into the oranges. I really love this hue of orange. Very nice, warm, subtle, not too wildly bright. We have the jack-o'-lanterns black. I love the black pumpkins. And then some more bats. Okay, this is a bigger line. So we have some creams. Very classic color combination. And this is the print we also have in 1 yards and 3 yards. So it'll be great for backings or bigger projects. And then we have the bats with the diamonds in the background. So this is Midnight Haunt. And of course, I had to do a fabric pull with this. So I started with the creams because kind of if you wanted to do something with lights, you would want to add some cream. So Life's Recipes and the texture, I love the gray in here, it goes well with it. So, and then Grunge Cream, a perfect cream to go with these guys. And then I wanted to do a little bit of the darker with the light cream, just for a little bit of a textural difference, color variation. I pulled a couple of oranges that work perfectly with these, the Jot Dot Orange and the Grunge Russet Orange. And then as far as the grays, we have the grunge in the lead color, which matches this gray perfectly. And in between, the Holiday Treats black dots, because it has the grays and the black. And then the grunge black dress. So that's my fabric pull for this Halloween. Yes, very classic Halloween colors. And I love that. Sometimes, some folks just don't always like the lime green and the purple that most Halloween lines have. So I was happy to see this very classic one. All right, so that's Midnight Haunt. Totally switching gears to something summery and colorful and beachy. This line is called Sanibel. I Love it. So it's ocean, and of course my daughter Swana loves it. So ocean animals and seashells and things. Just very pretty stuff with some very cool coordinates, some kind of artsy coordinates to go with it. I love the colors, and they're just so fresh and fun. We have a lighter going into kind of the blues. We have the scales. We have a great mixer pattern here with the green in it. A small print with the air bubbles in the water. Gotta love that. And then we go into the more of the greens. Big print here in the greens with the small print. And what I love, I've talked about this multiple times, is there's a huge difference between the greens, so that will give your fabric and your quilt just a lot more action and life to have that little variation. Another mixed print here. We have the teal. We have the scales again in the teal. Oh, I guess I forgot to put this print in the blues, but we'll squeeze her in here.
Can you set it up for June?
You could. Oh my, that would be pretty.
My question was, can you use Sanibel for June?
Yes, you could totally use Sanibel for June. I would probably take like put all the blues in one group and then the rest of the colors in the other group, and then find a great background. Maybe it could be a white. That will be fresh with a quilt like that. I love these pink and then this kind of coral color. So I pulled fabric to go with Sanibel. I started with the reds. A really nice corally red here, retro red, bumbleberries, and then the coral floral elements, because they just work well. A little bit of pink added to it. And then we go into the teal. We have the canvas Bermuda and the dimples and the robin's egg. Great matches here. And then we have these bright, beautiful greens. I did the rainbow shimmer and the citron and the floral elements kiwi, kind of the lighter tones of it. And then I did some blues. This is a perfect match here, Jot Dot cornflower with this hues of blue, and then the new thatched from Cottage Blue, the cornflower color here too, with some of the lighter tones. And then if you wanted to add a plaid, for example, if you wanted to make a wanda, or you wanted just for binding or borders, this one is perfect with the teal and the navy diagonal plaid. This is Flowers for Freya. So I think this will be very cool to add in as if you needed a plaid or wanted a plaid. Not needed, but wanted. So Sanibel is in stock.
This is a bundle.
This is a bundle.
This is a bundle, folks.
It is 15 pieces, so a larger, a little bit larger bundle, but just beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. It's a very much beachy, fresh for this time of year, for sure. One more that I'm showing you today. I know there's so much in the warehouse, I could have probably kept showing you stuff. I showed you a week ago or so the Smoke and Rust charm packs that came in. They came in early before the line. So we have those in stock. If you don't remember my little Trixie table runners, I used table topper and runner. I used these for that. But I think I might have to make a quilt too, because the bundle that I put together I absolutely love. I wanted to do it kind of more controlled, as I like to do with my fabric bundles. So I'm going to start with the lights. So it's a nice balance in this. This would also be great for the new quilt. So this print, really pretty. It's kind of travel oriented, camping, explore. And then we have nice geometric. And I love that there's a hue difference. There's a little bit more taupe in this one. We have 4 lights in there. Kind of a linear print, and then a nice small grid print. Really nice for backgrounds. We're going to go into the grays. So you could totally use these still if you were going to do June. Could use the grays and the lights as your lights. And then we have, oh, so pretty. Love this print. And then we have this beautiful burnt orange, or I don't know what color, kind of sienna color. I just love this. So rich and warm, but yet a really kind of a modern take on these colors. And then into the darkest, the really nice chocolatey brown with some gray in it. So you have that main print again. And finally this one. Now, as far as if you wanted to do anything like this for June, like I said, I would probably do lights and darks, or if you wanted to maybe pull these out and do all one colorway for one of the colors for your lights, for example, and then all the darks. I did make a fabric pull, so as far as the darker colors, Grunge Espresso is perfect, so is Provisions Onyx. And then going into more of these, this is a lot dark, or kind of redder, a little bit more orange, but if you wanted to mix a few, this would be good. This one kind of mixes the brown with its Floral Elements Spicy Brown. This is Provision Sienna. This is a perfect match with them. Bumbleberries Amber. And then the Dash Flow Brand, which is the lightest of them, but works nicely here too with that little variety. Some grays. I did Prisma Marble Shadow, perfect match with the gray. The Grunge Gris is also a great match. I did a little bit lighter, kind of a transition, the Moonscape Shadow with the grays with a little bit of white. And then we actually have these in 1 yard. These go with a Smoke and Rust line. So this one is already in here. It's the grid in the ash color. And then this is the Smoke and Rust Pluses. So this print, but just in the ash color. So this one is not in the line. So this one could be used as maybe a background. If you wanted to leave these out, you could use this as a background for June, but all kinds of ways to play. And like I said, I will be talking about a lot more about combinations, fabric combinations, color combinations, and so get your questions ready and ask me for Tuesday. I'll be showing you lots of ideas because that's my favorite thing. I can make a whole bunch of imaginary June quilts from playing in the warehouse. So I'll be on Monday and Tuesday. I'll be playing in there, pulling, making fabric pulls to give you some ideas for
Smoke and Rust is a great Father's Day quilt.
Oh, that is an awesome Father's Day quilt, yeah. I have to say. This is very masculine. I just think it's really cool. I think it works really well for like younger folks because it's kind of that
like
earthy.
Me? Like me, kind of?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I actually think my son Otley would love that. This is totally up their alley. Yeah, kind of a little bit of camping theme too. So I think that might have to happen in my house. So maybe I'll be making a Smoke and Rust version on the 26th. I haven't decided. There's so many options, too many options. So we will probably have 4 already made by next week. And then I always make one with you guys during the sew-along. So,
some questions.
Yes, questions. Where do we get the pattern for Hey Joan? So the pattern will not be available until 24 hours before the quilt-along. We always do that. We give you the fabric requirements, you can get ready, and then the pattern does not go live until 24 hours before we start. So you can get it and get a little leg up on cutting. So that Friday, Happy Friday show before we start, I will talk a little bit about cutting and if you wanted to prep anything. But the pattern will not be available for purchase until the 25th in the morning. So that's why you will get an email if you're on the newsletter, telling you when that's available. Is the blue and gold fabric on your home page a bundle? Okay, well, I'd have to check my home page to see what. If you click on it, if it's on my home page, click on it. It will take you either to the product, so you can check that out. What fabrics are the whites in the June to the side of you? So this one, so the whites is, those are 2 bundles, Beguiled Light, that's all the whites, and then Beguiled Dark, which is all the blacks. I just thought this was just perfect too, because also June is Pride Month, so all of these fabric have all the rainbow colors in them, so I just thought it was awesome. Brenda's asking, will we be doing kits? No, we will not be doing kits because we have hundreds of bundles in the store and those work perfectly, so everybody can choose their own. But if you want really specific help, remember, you can always email us and we will help you with color selection. If there's a fabric line or a fabric bundle that you like, we can give you suggestions on a background color or whatever else. Just email us. And like I said, on Tuesday, I'll be giving you a lot of ideas. So then after that one, you can email us and we can help you out. When using fabrics like Abandon, do you fuzzy cut your pieces or just cut as if it's all one color? I just cut because I love surprises when I'm working with fabrics like that. So I don't know if you've seen my Venus from Abandoned 1. That's just the magic that happens when you start playing with it and you cut and sew and cut and sew, and then you just get all this variety, and that's one thing I love. I'm not much of a fuzzy cutter, haven't done much of that. I like to use my fabric wisely. But there is a time and a place for fuzzy cutting, I have to say. So you, if you're doing, it depends on the pattern. If you're doing something specific, maybe you want to fuzzy cut something. I need to see if I can get a group here to do the sew along with you. Any good drink suggestions? Well, we will have. There's one. Yeah, this one would be good. But we will have a specific June cocktail for the sew along. So for sure, there will be cocktails and maybe some snack recipes for you to prep beforehand. That will all be available before. So just make sure you follow our blog to check in on the blog. We'll add information there. Will the pattern get lost if you go more scrappy? Is it better to be controlled with just a couple of colors plus background? So again, I'll talk more about this. You can be totally scrappy. It will look different, but I just recommend that the background, as long as you have the background stand out from all the other ones, it's going to be awesome. If you want to just do wild colors and not even think about it, and your background is just the contrast, it'll be great. I promise. What background color would look good with red and white? Well, gray obviously would look great. Navy would look great. Black would look great. Any type of gray, pretty much. I have the Halloween panels. Will the pattern be available later to purchase? We hadn't planned on that, but we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But that was not in the plans. All right, any more questions? Do you have a winner? Yeah? You know, every show we have a live winner that we pull randomly from your comments. Oh, and it's Pam! Pam Hennessy, congratulations! You have won our $25 gift card today. About time. I think Pam has been watching us for years and years. So congrats, Pam. Yeah, just email us and we'll get you that $25 gift card for sure. All right, any other questions? Just make sure you are subscribed to the newsletter. Go check out our blog. You'll find this sheet with all of the information, with photos. You can study the photos. And you can really see the difference when you do really lights and darks. So really a lot of contrast in this one, a little bit less in this one. It's just whatever you want to kind of make stand out. Yep, the sheet with the fabric requirements is already there. It's on the blog. If you want to just relax, check your email inbox. Your newsletter will be there in, well, about 15 to 20, 30 minutes. And there's a direct link, so easy link right to this, and you can do it all. Get it all situated, go see what you got at home, and then watch on Tuesday, and I'll give you lots of different more ideas. So next Tuesday's show is June 15th at 7 p.m. June 15th at 7 p.m. And then Happy Friday will be the following Friday, is June 18th at 3 o'clock. We'll be there with another peach cocktail. Until then, I'm going to enjoy this one. It is very, very nice. I encourage you to try it. If you've got some peaches, go get some fresh peaches. They're
Mine's
really
gone.
perfect. Oh, yours is gone.
Mine's gone.
Did you guys notice there was a new music in the intro before we started? New song. What's that about?
New song.
It's an original. It's a Kaj original. Mr. HP.
Myself and Mr. Billy McLaughlin here from Minnesota, guitar player. We did this a long time ago, and it's...
So now we're going to have a different jam for the Friday shows and then
Yeah.
a Tuesday show.
Yeah.
Perfect. We love that. But that's it for us today. I hope you have a lovely, lovely weekend. Yeah, stay cool. Stay cool. We're planning on it. Cheers, everybody. Thank you for watching.